Hello, my name is Robbie. On here, I'm Templar Knight. Every person who believes in God and does not go to church has a story why. But whenever two or more people gather in God's name, He is there. So this is church. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. This week was a rough one for me. Last week, before my very first stream, it was a war. Satan came at me in so many unique ways, just trying to scare me off, and honestly, I almost thought about pushing it back a week, but I knew that I said I would do it, so I did. And for every attack that Satan brought against me, and God was right there supporting me and getting me to do this. So last week was a roller coaster for me. Leading up to this week, it wasn't near as bad. No many weird, spontaneous things happened. I had received so much love and support from people who were here last week that... Nope, not tonight. It was overwhelming to see the response, and I really appreciate it. But Satan wasn't done trying to stop me. And this week, he hit me in a completely different way that was something I was not ready for. I had writer's block. I have never struggled to find words before. I can normally sit down at the computer and just start typing. Now mind you, this was like targeted writer's block. I got back into working on songs this week, and some of the lyrics I was coming up with were insane. I started going back to some old stories I wrote, and everything was there. But as soon as I sat down, so this is church, and started typing away, nothing, just ... So every day on my drive to work, I was trying to come up with something. What do I talk about this week? ... Just nothing. Driving home from work, nothing. I couldn't find anything, and it was terrifying for me because I started this, and honestly, I feel like I came out strong out the gate, and I did not want to let everyone down this week. And I was so scared because here, Monday rolls by, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And Tuesday rolls by, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And Wednesday rolls by, I still got nothing. So finally, I don't know why it took me so long, but I just had to reach out and had to pray about it. So I called up on Jesus. For those of you who don't know, I will often refer to Jesus as my buddy Jay. It's easier for me to say, and I like it. He's the same person. So I called my buddy Jay, and I'm like, dude, I am really in a bad way right now. I don't know what to do. Can you come help me out? So dude shows up instantly, and he just looks at me and he starts laughing, because every time he shows up, he just finds me and he's like, what are you doing? And he's laughing at me because to him, me struggling with the things I struggle with are very funny. And I can understand why he finds this funny, but I don't. I am so scared because I've got to prepare a lesson, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, look, Jay, I'm kind of freaking out right now. I've got this big program going, and I need to do something, but I don't know what to talk about. And he just looks at me and is like, why is this a problem? Like, I can't find any ideas. He's like, okay, well, let's go find you some ideas. So he decides to take me on a little journey inside my head, because clearly that's where my problem is. So we show up, and we're inside my mind, and it is this 8x8 box, and it's dark, and it's dingy, and it is cluttered with so much stuff. There are boxes everywhere. I have the typical male response to thoughts and processing. In my mind, I put everything in boxes. Most guys will do that. When I go to work, I will grab the box that says Work Robbie, set it out in front of me, and start taking all the information out that I need for work. Take out everything that I need to be the man I have to be to do my job. And then when I'm done with work, I will put all that stuff back in that box and put it on the shelf and pull out a different box. And I will unpack that one as to who I am at home. What things do I need to know? What thoughts do I need? I have my table laid out in front of me where I have all the information that I need to be me. And the stuff I'm not using, it's stored on boxes. It's put off to the side. Now I'm used to being in my mind. And I know Jay is here all the time, but having someone important to you show up to your place and it is a freaking mess is always embarrassing. So we walk into my mind and we look at all these boxes and the clutter and the trunks laying half empty on the floor and everything strewn, and I'm going into Tetris mode, and I need to grab all these boxes and try and sort them and store them and get them packed away on shelves so that it doesn't look like such a bloody mess. But Jay just looks at me and he's like, I think I know why you're struggling with writer's block this week, Robbie. You got a lot going on in here. You need to free up some space. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Let's get these stacked on the shelf and get them in a nice, neat order so that I can organize my desk and do what I gotta do. And he looks at me and he's like, no, that's not your problem. It's like, do I need to, like, get a storage unit and have something else? He's like, just laughs at me. He's like, Robbie, that's not how this works. You've got so much stuff in your head. It's not a matter of having it clean or getting more space. We need to empty this thing out a bit. Do you mind if I help you clean? Now that mattered to me because being a mental hoarder, I did not need someone showing up just telling me what they think I need to do. He was not going to clean my mind out for me. He was going to help me do it. So we go and we grab this box, and I've got this huge tote for work. And he opens one up and he's like, well, what's this box? Looks inside the box and I'm like, well, no, I need that. But what is it? That's a conversation, like 3 months ago, I had an issue with another contractor on a job site, and he was really mean to me, and it was wrong, and it wasn't fair, and I didn't deserve what he said. And that's the conversation I'm going to have with him if I ever see him again and we get to talking. I need that. I have to have that prepared and ready so that if I see that guy, we can have this talk. He just looks at me. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. And he starts laughing at me again. I'm like, that's not stupid. That's me being prepared. And he just looks, why are you holding on to this? You do not need this. It's just taking up space. But I need this conversation. I need to remember how badly this guy treated me so that if I ever see him again, I can let him know. No, you don't. You really don't need to hold on to that. Let's get rid of it. So he picks up this box and he walks over to the window. Now, mind you, I'm having a little panic attack right here because I spent a lot of time on that conversation, getting ready to tell this guy what happened and how I felt about it and make it right. And Jay just wants to throw it. But Jay just wants to throw it. He wants to get that out of my head. It's just wasted space. So he goes over to the window in the corner of my mind, opens it up, and chucks that box out. And now it's gone. And I look at the space where it used to be. There's some space. So we start going through, open up the next box, see what's inside. Is this really something that I need to be tying up my thoughts? Do I really need this in my head? Or can I let this go? I had to clear out a lot of stuff that day. There was so much that I was holding on to that I just needed to get rid of. because it wasn't helping me. It was taking up so much space in my mind. It was holding me back. And it was a long, hard time that Jay and I spent in my mind. But I asked him to help me let things go. And he helped me let things go. Because anyone who knows me knows how stubborn I can be. I hate to admit it, but that is one of my biggest flaws. I am stubborn to a fault. And I need to work on that. But that's for another day. I need to learn to let go of things that don't really matter. So many things that are just hurting my life and holding me back, I have to learn to let go of. So me and Jay, my man Jesus, we're walking through my head, and we're taking all these boxes and going through. And after maybe an hour and a half, you'd be amazed all the space I had in there. And we were getting to a really solid point. I'm thinking, I've got so much more room than I had. I should now be able to come up with stuff. This should break my writer's block. I should be golden. And we look up and Jay's like, hey, why is it so dim in here? We both look up towards the light, and there's this big blanket just sitting there. Almost like a big curtain or a drape. It's just sitting there. It's blocking a lot of the light. And Jay looks up and he's like, what is that? I told him, it's like, I know exactly what that is. Because that is my doubt and my insecurity. It hangs over me like a veil. It blocks the light so that I can't see. And he grabs it and he takes it down. He just looks, he's like, why do you hang on to this? This is horrible for you. You need to stop doubting yourself. Be secure in who you are. Trust what you can do. Don't let your doubts hold you back. And he started walking towards the window with that. And I says, no, Jay, buddy, I need that right now. I can't get rid of that yet. Despite how much I want to, I have to hang on to that for a little bit. And he just looks at me, and he gives me the look he always gives me when he disapproves of something I'm saying. He just goes, and I know he's right. I know I need to get rid of that. But I'm not ready to yet. He just looks at me, he's like, what is this? It's like, man, I'm not sure of myself. I still doubt the things I do. I don't think I'm good enough. And he just puts his hand on my shoulder, and Jesus is like, Robbie, you will always be good enough for me, man. It's like, man, I know, but like, even last week, I screwed up. I was here and I was giving this lesson, and it was awesome, and I feel like I was really making an impact, and I was touching lives, and I was telling the story about how me and you met. It was great. And then towards the end, I got distracted, and my doubt showed up, and I completely left out the story of when you took me fishing. Remember that? You took me out on that boat, and I fell overboard and I almost drowned, and you saved me. I forgot it completely. I beat myself up about that all week. And Jay just looks at me, he's like, hey, dude, you were good enough for me. Now, if you don't want to get rid of this blanket yet, okay, we're going to work on that. But I'm not going to let you hang that over your head anymore. So we're going to fold this up, we're going to put it on a shelf, and we're going to deal with that later. I need you to know this isn't done. But if this is what you need to do to hang on to, okay, that's your decision. So we got that veil down, and the light could be seen. And now I've got more space in the room. The lighting's better. But still, I'm struggling to write. I'm trying not to doubt myself. I'm trying to feel like I'm worthy and I'm good enough to do this. But I'm scared inside. And Jay's just sitting there. He's like, I need to show you something, man. This room, you thought it was too full. I think your room is too empty. So he takes me over to the window, and I look outside. And out the window of my mind, I can see this small pile of garbage that we've thrown out. All the bad crap that I just had flooding my head. But when I look out, I see these billboards everywhere. All of these billboards telling me where to go. Text messages from friends saying, hey, I really appreciate what you said last night. That mattered. Being able to talk about, I've had coworkers that were talking to me about how they connected with what I was saying and how God is really doing something special in me, and all of this support. I've received love from the whole community that I never expected. And Jesus just stands there with me at the window and says, look around. You have been so focused on all the negative stuff that you're not seeing how amazing this is. You are not seeing all the great things going on right now. Stop focusing on everything you screw up and on everything you do bad. And take 5 seconds to acknowledge what you are doing so right. And it was hard for me to acknowledge that just maybe what I'm doing here is having an impact on people. That someone might show up and find out that my friend Jesus here, he wants to be their friend too. He wants to love them and care for them the same way he does for me. So we go back in, and I start looking again at my desk, because I got to start writing something for Sunday. And I've got some ideas now. The writer's block, it's gone. I can think clearly again, because I'm able to not only clear out all the garbage that has been taking up so much space in my head, and holding me back and holding me down, but I'm able to look out and see all the positive things around me, all the great things people are doing with their lives, great things I'm doing with my life. So that got me thinking. I can do this. I just needed to get out of this room. So me and Jesus still standing there in this 8x8 cubicle that is my mind. There's a door now. And we go and we open the door. And it's pitch black. And I take a few steps. And I can't see anything. And I look back and I'm like, Jay, where do I go? I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Where do I go out here? And he looks at me and is like, too dark for you? Yes, it's too dark for me. How am I supposed to see anything out here? He just laughs at me the way he always does. Dude, the Bible says that I am a light unto the world. Do you seriously think that I cannot light your path? Okay, Jay, you right. Show me the way. Show me where I'm supposed to go. So Jay walks up, and he looks, and he's like, "Want to run?" I can't see anything, Jay. I know, but I can. and he reaches his hand out to me. And he says, "Let's run." So I take his hand, and he starts running. And I start running too. Because if this is where Jesus is going to lead me, it doesn't matter if I don't see where we're going. I'm going to take his hand, and I'm going to run as fast as I can. I don't know where I'm going. I'm running blind through the dark. But what I know is that my best friend, my Lord, my Savior, Jesus Christ, is leading me. And I'm not scared. I was scared when I was alone. But asking him to lead me, to show me where he wants me to go, I will sprint blindfolded through the dark. Because I know he knows the way. You know, there's a handful of people out here tonight. I have no idea how many people are watching. I never check. But what if there's someone out here who doesn't know? What if it's not just my regulars who I know all about their faith? What if there's someone here for the first time is hearing about Jesus and how much he loves you, everything he's willing to do for you? I will share every week stories about what he has done in my life. And you can have that too. Jesus will love you and care for you and guide you through the darkness when you can't see. All you have to do is ask. Sorry, as everyone likes to give me grief about, I'm a very emotional person. And when I become overwhelmed, I can cry. And that's okay. Because that's me letting you guys know just how much it means to me to talk about what Jesus means to me. I hope everyone here knows that you can have this too. I'm going to do something that I did not do last week, and it was not something I normally plan on doing because I'm not sure how everyone feels about it, but I'm going to take a second and pray. If you want to join me, please do. If not, I'll be back in a minute. Man, what's up, God? How are we doing tonight? This has been a rough road you put me on, but I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to take your hand and run with you and see where it leads me. What I'd like to do is ask for you to, Lord, be with the people here tonight who don't know you. Let them know that you're there for them. Let them know you care. Maybe tonight they're going to ask you into their hearts, and how awesome that would be. Or maybe tonight they're just going to listen, but a seed will be planted, and they'll remember that, hey, remember that time that one guy was talking about that Jesus guy who loves me? I want to go find out more about that. So God, I'm just asking you to be here with us. Everyone here watching, people who watch us later, Lord, be with them. Show them your love, Lord. Amen. I'm gonna come on back now and see what I've missed.